My name is Shana Burt, President and Concert Mistress of Old Bridge Chamber Orchestra and classical music influencer. Today, being a classical music influencer or classmusencer means a bunch of things. First up, it means that I am your source for all of the information you'll need if you're planning to attend our concert season opener on November 5th, 2022, 7:30 p.m. at the Hilton Performing Arts Center. It also means that I am your source for the tea that you'll need as you're preparing to attend that concert. First, ticket tea. The tea is that if you go to obco.org and you purchase your tickets from the Hilton Center's website, enter OBCO to get 2 tickets for $30, a $10 saving. Yeah, you're welcome. Now, let's talk music tea. Dvořák's New World Symphony, the final work on OBCO's concert program. Now, Dvořák is easily the most famous of the Czech composers, as evidenced by the fact that I cannot pull another Czech name right now. Now, the tea is that this Bohemian composer, Bohemian in the sense that he is literally born in Bohemia, not that he's like crunchy granola, he might have been. I don't actually know. Don't write that down. Anyway, this Bohemian composer abandoned the life his parents had planned for him, which included butchery and innkeepery. Can't imagine why he would have passed. Anyway, he would go on to compose what has been called a quintessentially American composition, the New World Symphony. But he didn't start out famous. Picture it. We all know it's hard out there for a musician, and so it was for Dvořák. To help pay the bills, he took on students, including a pair of sisters named Josefina and Anna. I hear that there was a little weird love thing that happened there. Anna developed feelings for Dvořák. Dvořák developed feelings for Josefina. Josefina developed feelings for random count. Here's what happened. Josefina marries the count. Anna marries Dvořák. Josefina and the count settle in this small village in Czech land, and Dvořák and Anna end up buying a summer home not too far from where the Count and Josefina lived, because all of it was healthy and super well adjusted. Now, there was our Bohemian friend, married to his sloppy seconds, and living his best composer life in his homeland, when he was tempted by an American woman. Now, the tea is that it wasn't actually quite like that. There was this woman, Jeanette Thurber, who had established a conservatory of music in New York, and she knew that she needed a big name for a director. So, with the promise of a large paycheck, 25 times what he was making in Europe, and relatively light duty, plenty of time for composing and dilly-dallying. And I also believe that there was alcohol involved. Probably not true. I don't know. Dvořák in 1892 was convinced by his family to pack up all of his stuff, sail to the States, and spend about 3 years wrapped up in all things American. Okay, I don't just spill tea. I also debunk myths. Now, the streets are going to try to tell you that Dvořák incorporated specific American folk songs into his symphony. The streets are leading you astray. The truth is that the persuasive Ms. Thurber flooded Dvořák with American poems and even took him to see a Buffalo Bill show. Buffalo Bill, the Wild West guy, not the Silence of the Lambs guy, I think. Anyway, when he was not putting the lotion on its skin, Dvořák immersed himself in African American and Indigenous American music. He was convinced that the future music of this country, America, was to be found in Negro spirituals. So he did what any person would do who was trying to immerse himself. He got a black composition student to sing and play Negro spirituals and plantation songs for him on command. Sounds like an HR problem to me, but okay. Ultimately, Dvořák came to the conclusion that the Negro melodies he heard from people like that student, Harry Burleigh. They were going to be the root of all American music. Part prophet, Dvořák foresaw the emergence of blues and jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, and whatever it is that people are using in their TikToks. Now, remember that I mentioned that Thurber flooded Dvořák with poetry? Well, you can rewind it if you don't remember. You should be paying attention. Now, she flooded him with these poems, and among them was Longfellow's Songs of Hiawatha. Now, I am relieved to say that Dvořák did not just rely on that white dude's interpretation of American Indians. He also studied transcriptions of indigenous American melodies and used the essence of those melodies in the New World Symphony. Now, according to my sources, it's not that Dvořák wrote the symphony based on specific American songs. It's more like the symphony is American folk theme adjacent. So that's going to make much more sense when you come to hear the piece itself. There's an English horn solo that sounds so much like a Negro spiritual that someone after the fact wrote spiritual lyrics for it, and Kanye surely would have gone on a tweet rant about it if he weren't otherwise occupied. Dvořák knew that he had captured something uniquely American in this symphony, and he told a colleague that its Americanness would be apparent to anyone who had a nose. You'll hear music that sounds like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, but isn't. You'll hear music that sounds tribal, but isn't. And you'll even hear traditional American hymns like the You and Danger Girl music from Jaws and Baby Shark, but it isn't. So that's today's tea. Visit obco.org for tickets and more information. Don't forget to drop the discount code OBCOBOGO to get that 2-person discount. And we'll see you on November 5th at the Hilton Performing Arts Center at 7:30 p.m. Oh, show up at 6:45 p.m. for special themed cocktails. But you didn't hear that from me. I don't think there'll be any tea, though. It's gross. That's really good. That is nice.